So, what if the secret to your perfect diet, your best workout, what if it wasn't in some magazine or on a fitness app, but it was actually locked inside your own DNA? Today, we're going to dig into that exact idea, looking at how one company, Rare Breed Training System, says it can turn your genetic code into a totally personalized fitness blueprint. Okay, let's start with a scenario you've probably been through. You find a new fitness plan, you're all in, totally fired up. You commit 100%. You track every meal, you never ever miss a workout. And yet, after weeks of doing everything right, you look in the mirror and, well, nothing. Or, at least not the results you were hoping for. It's so frustrating, and honestly, it's a huge reason why so many of us just give up. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it isn't your effort? And that brings us to what this whole approach sees as the main issue, the one-size-fits-all problem in fitness. The idea that the same exact diet and workout plan is going to work for you and me and everyone else. Well, from this perspective, that idea is just fundamentally flawed. This quote, it just nails their central argument. It's suggesting that the struggle isn't about not having enough willpower, but about a basic mismatch between a generic plan and your unique body. That's a pretty big shift in thinking, right? It moves the focus away from blaming yourself and puts it squarely on individual biology. So this gets us to the core of the whole genetic argument. What if the answer isn't about trying harder or having more willpower, but just understanding your own biology better? The claim here is that the real key to your physical potential is already hidden right inside your genetic code. And here's the crucial point. Your DNA, it does way more than just decide your eye color or how tall you are. It's basically the operating manual for your metabolism. How efficiently do you process carbs? How fast do you bounce back after a tough workout? How does your body actually handle fat? The argument is that the answers to all these questions are literally written in your genes. Okay, so if the code to our best performance is locked up inside our DNA, the next logical question is, how do you read it? And this is where the whole concept of genetic analysis comes into play. The key to this entire process is something called genetic markers. A good way to think about them is like tiny specific instructions in your body's operating manual. They don't tell the whole story, of course, but they give us these critical clues about how your individual system is wired to work. This table gives us a really solid look at how this works in practice. So, for example, your nutrient processing genes might be the reason you feel amazing on a high-carb diet, while your friend thrives on high fat. Your recovery genes could influence how much rest you really need between intense workouts. And get this, your muscle composition genes might even hint at whether you're naturally built more for explosive powerlifting or for long-distance running. And this slide just perfectly lays out the difference. On the left, you've got the old model, following the latest trend, basically just guessing and hoping for the best. And on the right, the new promise, a clear, direct path to your goal, guided by your own personal genetic blueprint. It really is the difference between guessing and, well, knowing. So, that's all the theory. But how do you take all this genetic data and turn it into a practical, day-to-day plan that you can actually follow? Let's look at the process. The approach really breaks down into 3 steps. First, they analyze your DNA to find those key genetic markers we talked about. Second, and this is important, they combine that data with your real-world fitness stats, things like your strength levels and body fat percentage. And finally, they put that all together to build a completely custom program where everything from the food you eat to your workout schedule is tailored specifically to you. And that brings us to the ultimate question, right? What's the payoff? If you actually go through all this and align your fitness routine with your genetics, what kind of results can you expect to see? The promised results, they go way beyond just looking better. The claims are about really fundamental improvements, having more energy day to day, recovering faster from workouts, and seeing a real visible transformation. The ultimate goal is to hit what they call peak performance, which they frame as the natural results of finally working with your body's design instead of constantly fighting against it. This visual just sums up the whole idea perfectly. Your peak physical potential is like a code that's locked inside you. And according to this model, a plan that's built from your very own DNA is the unique key that can finally unlock it. So, what do we take away from all this? Is a DNA-driven approach the absolute future of how we optimize human performance? Or is it maybe just the ultimate form of personalization, in a world where everything from our music to our news is already tailored just for us? The final answer isn't clear yet, but it's a powerful and fascinating glimpse into where the world of fitness is headed.